About a week ago, the Diregentleman Channel released a video titled We're Rebooting RWBY, where we announced our own fan-made project called RWBY Noir. Our team has been working on getting RWBY Noir into production throughout the past year, and we're finally at a stage where our efforts can be public knowledge. In this video, I'm going to break down what RWBY Noir is, what it isn't, and how soon you can expect to see the final product. For starters, RWBY Noir is a non-profit fan animatic of the animated web show RWBY, which was created by Monty Oum and is currently owned by Roosterteeth. If you're somehow unfamiliar with the original show, the core premise of RWBY is that a quartet of anime girls based on characters from classic fairy tales fight evil monsters with high-powered weaponry. Our premise for RWBY Noir is largely the same, though it is set in an alternate universe with its own continuity. As we mentioned in the previous video, we'll be using RWBY's iconic red, white, black, and yellow trailers as a springboard for our world and the general tone of the show. The events of these trailers are considered canon to RWBY Noir's story, with a few minor details changed to reflect the new setting. We'll get into those in a moment, but the important thing is that we want this project to capture the appeal of RWBY while also putting our own unique spin on it. This should go without saying, but RWBY Noir is being made with RWBY's fanbase in mind. We started this project because we ourselves were inspired by RWBY's characters and premise, and we'd like to create a final product that could be enjoyed by the same general audience, whether it's diehard fans of the original or anime and fantasy nerds who mostly know the show through cultural osmosis. Point is, we have an audience in mind for RWBY Noir, and we want to make that audience as happy as we possibly can with our story. The goal we're working towards is a fully voiced animatic which will have a runtime of 30 to 45 minutes. We've completed a 35-page script which follows directly from the events of the trailers and centers around the four main characters, RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang, as they team up for the first time to fight evil in Ever City, a steampunk and urban fantasy-inspired fortress state ruled by the illustrious Schnee Corporation. There's not much more we can give away about the plot right now, but we're very excited for you to meet the members of Team RWBY all over again when it comes time to tell their story. For some of you, that will be sooner rather than later, as we'll be sending out a paid casting call in the coming weeks. The exact details of what we're looking for each character will be in that video, so if you're 18 or older and interested in auditioning for RWBY Noir, hit that notification bell and stay tuned. So at this point in the video, you likely have some idea of what RWBY Noir is. Now it's time to cover what it isn't, as promised. RWBY Noir, as you can probably tell from the name, is a detective AU, where at least a couple of the main characters are private investigators, still armed with cool weapons of course, because it's based on RWBY. This means that RWBY Noir is not a story where the characters attend an anime high school. There's nothing wrong with stories about high schoolers, but in anime the school setting has been overused to the point of cliche, and early on we decided we wanted to go in a different direction. We wanted the characters to be a bit more mature and have more autonomy in their daily lives. So we picked detectives. You can blame the yellow trailer for showing off Yang's interrogation methods, and also The Wolf Among Us for mixing a hard-boiled PI with fairy tales before we did. Speaking of wolves and things that are sus, RWBY Noir will not feature the Faunus or the White Fang subplot, and frankly, it's because of all the baggage. While it's very important to tell stories of civil rights struggle and to promote an actively anti-racist mindset in both fiction and the real world, we at RWBY Noir team don't believe that the allegory of Faunus discrimination was handled particularly well in the source material. And in order to keep a more even tone in our campy detective story about anime girls shooting big guns at robots, we felt like we had to cut the Faunus out. This means that the Adam and Blake who appear in the Black trailer are being recontextualized in RWBY Noir as freelance mercenaries who sell their services to the highest paying customer. It works for the story we're telling, and that's why we made the change. That's not to say that cute bunny girls can't exist in this alternate universe, just that they don't have to face targeted discrimination from hate groups because of their hilarious ears. Also, we're cutting aura, dust, grim, maidens, relics, and semblances. RWBY Noir has its own world building with its own rules. We have explanations for everything that happens in the RWBY trailers, but we're not using anything from the world of Remnant besides cool guns and the existence of magic and monsters. We're not going to sit here for the next 15 minutes and world build at you because we're not hacks, but we'll reveal bits and pieces through context, and of course the script itself is written to be cohesive and understood without any prior knowledge of the setting. Or hell, even the canon elements of RWBY that we're borrowing. That's basically all we can show you for now, but as the production continues, there will be plenty of fun surprises for us to share, and while we're not asking for anything like crowdfunding, we'd very much appreciate if you could share this video with any RWBY fans you know, so that we can have the largest possible audience for RWBY Noir when it drops into your YouTube subscription feed. We're shooting for a release date in early 2022, and our team will be spending the time in between completing the best animatic we can deliver. There will be frequent updates and progress reports, as well as plenty of new art from Masters in Animation Meg Tootin, and we'll be responding to your comments and questions along the way. I'm sure that you have some thoughts on how we'll be handling this project, and if that's true, leave a comment down below and we'll do our best to answer it. Lastly, if you want to check out our animation and writing work prior to RWBY Noir, there are links in the description to Meg Tootin's proof of concept animated short, Tooth or Dare, and to the official website of Less is More, our audio drama podcast where a ghost and a ghoul talk about stuff. You can also get more of our opinions on creativity and writing by subscribing to the Diregentleman Channel, which uploads frequently and hosts a wide variety of content, including podcasts and video essays. Because when you're watching Diregentleman, you're getting more than just reviews. Thank you for stopping by, and until next time, we'll be seeing you in the near future.